Welcome into the bunker of General Gridiron, field marshal of football forecasting. We're about to map out the way this college football weekend is gonna go. Will your favorite team be marching to victory, or will the enemy be taking your battle flag? Hurricane Matthew will be affecting many college football games this weekend, so we want to keep our friends along the Atlantic coast in mind and hope everyone comes out okay when the wind and rain ends. Now, let's grab your helmet and man those battle stations. We're ready for another round of General Gridiron's football foretelling. LSU at Florida. Assuming this game will be played, Coach O and his clothing-optional coaching policy will be taking the reins of the limping Bayou Bengal program for the second straight week after posting an impressive 42-7 win against the even more sickly Mizzou Tiger. Meanwhile, the formerly toothy Reptiles have gummed their way to a 4-1 record, slithering submissively by the feisty Seafaring Commodores in Nashville. Buckle up, get balanced on the edge of your seat, and pop the Jiffy Pop for an explosive collision for the two worst offenses in the SEC. Look for LSU to run the football, and look for Florida to run the football. The defense that stops the other one more time wins. The Alligators can stop the run, and the 2D Tigers have no other option. The Generals victor? Florida. Oklahoma versus Texas. Come one, come all to the great state fair of Texas. Witness amazing feats of strength, play calls of desperation. This annual hate fest, prosecuted on the field of battle on the Fair Park ground of South Dallas, segregates the maroon from the burnt orange, the boomer from the hook'em, and a couple of coaches hanging on for dear life. Charlie's Stronghorns have looked anything but as they routinely wave the red matador's cape at opposing offenses. On the other sideline, Bobby's boys have stooped to a new low by being blown off the playoff map by Week 4. The Longhorn leader has been carried off the field once this year as a reward for beating a 1-3 team. It won't happen twice. Baker cooks the horns to well done. The Generals victor? Oklahoma. Houston at Navy. Tom Herman is still the head coach of the 3rd Ward Cougs, for now. The human lottery ticket has a few games left before he packs his bags, packs his grill, and heads off to kiss players at another program. The number 6 Cougars have passed the eye test so far, and Shasta has no reason to dance all over the end zone. While the Bayou City Mountain Lions remain unblemished by defeat, Uncle Sam's Sailors are still reeling from a Falcon Air attack. But having your tower buzzed by Air Force is no warm-up for Greg Ward Jr.'s band of Third Coast Bandits. The Generals victor? Houston. Alabama at Arkansas. Powerful pachyderms prowl into pigpen paradise when the Tide squares up against the Hogs in Vietnam. Bama has shown almost no signs of weakness, including fielding a very strong referee game this season. The only elephant in the Tuscaloosa tea room has been pass defense, and luckily for the T-Town faithful, the plotting pigs haven't been sold on the newfangled concept of the forward pass. The Rolling Tide has been able to trample the trash with a running back or wide receiver. In this one, Pig Suey is Chop Suey. The Generals victor? Alabama. Indiana at Ohio State. Jimmy Chitwood would be proud of the clutch performance put on by his Hoosiers last week as the basketball boys from the crossroads of the country stunned Mike D'Antonio and the mighty Spartans, only recently knocked off of Mount Olympus to the realm of mortals. Unfortunately, not even Gene Hackman could rally the Bloomington Brawlers to beat Urban Meyer's eye-dotting dandies. The Bucks have looked like the most dominant of the Blue Bloods thus far, and the spirited group of Indianans from next door won't be able to stop the Nuts. The Generals victor? Ohio State. Still to come on the Generals college football forecast. Hurricane Matthew's on our mind, and Mother Nature permitting, the University of Miami's football canes will be on FSU's mind. While Tennessee goes to Davy Crockett's downfall, hoping for another SEC miracle in the Republic of Texas. Don't go anywhere. General Gridiron will be right back.
Because you want more flavor, at Nuke's we marinate and grill to perfection. Because you want the latest culinary tastes and trends, we never rest. At Nuke's, great food drives us. So we are meticulous in our preparation, obsessed with the quality of our ingredients, and uncompromising about serving you our very best. We believe that sharing a memorable meal is one of life's ultimate pleasures. Join us at Nuke's Eatery.
Howdy, soldiers. This is General Gridiron back with you. Each week, this fabulous football forecast is heard on some of the finest radio stations all over the region where college football is king. including Best Country 94.9, WHKN-FM in Statesboro, Georgia, and WUBR AM 910 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, bungalow of the Bayou Bengals. We appreciate all of our radio affiliates. Now, let's get back into the football fight. Florida State at Miami. The winds of change have shifted, and the Hurricanes have blown the ACC hierarchy into stormy confusion. The mighty Warriors from the capital city began the season with proud headdress on display. Recently, Chief Osceola's valiant Warriors have dealt with dulled blades and a lame defense, and they limp into this in-state matchup at 3-2. South Florida couldn't be more different than the Emerald Coast, but a storm warning is a thing to be feared, no matter where you are. And weather permitting, Miami's storm surge washes the Noles into the waiting arms of the Great Spirit. The Generals victor? Miami. Colorado at USC. The Buffaloes have been left for dead on the fields of college football respect for more than a decade, but the bushy beasts have awoken, and toughness again thrives out west. The thundering bison from Mary Jane Land have suffered only one rock in the hoof thus far, and that to the highly regarded Maize and Blue from Ann Arbor. The Buffs' most recent goring victim was Oregon State, to the tune of 47-6. Now the hairy upstarts head to Compton to tangle with the reeling California Trojans, but USC's rusty swords are no match for the stampeding bovines from Boulder. The Generals victor? Colorado. Texas Tech at Kansas State. Raiding things has been popular on the South Plains of Texas for a long time, and the most popular raiders are of the red variety. This year, the Matadors have thrown, run, and scampered roughshod over every defense they have faced. No amount of defense has been able to slow the marauding of Heisman hopeful Patrick Mahomes and his crew of speedy and tall wide receivers. Despite the booty plundered, the Texas Tech defense has been scurry, and Bill Snyder awaits in the Little Apple. The masked rider gallops toward Manhattan without the strong right arm of Chief Raider Mahomes, lost to an injury to his shooting arm. The gunslinging West Texas offense isn't the same without its quickest draw, and the KSU defense finally slows the Lubbock Lubbers. The Generals victor? K-State. Virginia Tech at North Carolina. Remember when VPI was the football powerhouse and UNC was the basketball juggernaut? Think again, because the number 17 Tobacco Road Terrors are coming off an epic win over the aforementioned Seminoles of Florida State. Don't sleep on the turkeys, though, because the Hokie Hokes are always ready to crow on Saturdays. Blacksburg's finest invade Kenan Stadium with restoring the proper order in the ACC in mind. Vautech comes in gobbling and crowing, but the Tar Heels remind the Hokies what makes them different from regular turkeys. The Generals victor? North Carolina. Tennessee at Texas A&M. Team of Destiny are the worst top 10 team in the country. Smokey's been howling in the hills, and the Vol fans have been crying and toasting during the same game for weeks now. So far, the Big Orange has enjoyed happy endings, but old Sarge awaits at Kyle Field for this battle of top 10 SEC Titans. An East Tennessee visit to College Station is a rare treat, and Aggie fans claim to be the most hospitable in the country. But watch for swaying corpsmen and strange yells, not cheers, as Myles Garrett and the Wrecking Crew defense ruin the Texas trip for Josh Dobbs and the up-and-down Tennessee offense. Good old Rocky Top is far, far away as dead revellees watch over a maroon massacre. The Generals victor? The Texas Aggies. We've already looked at the weekend's primetime matchups, but hang on to your helmet. There's more of the show coming up. We'll be back in a moment to wrap up this week's General Gridiron with our rapid-fire picks. This is General Gridiron back with you. We've already maneuvered through the frontline college football showdowns. Now, it's time to fix bayonets and storm the field with our rapid-fire football forecast. NC State storms past Notre Dame. Auburn silences Mississippi State's cowbell. Stanford bounces back against Washington State. Kentucky goes wild against Vanderbilt. Utah scalps Arizona. Wake Forest creams Syracuse. Cincinnati claws Connecticut. James Madison takes the crown away from William and Mary. Georgia mud puddles past South Carolina. Penn State tops Maryland. Washington waxes Oregon. Minnesota chills Iowa. Michigan State snaps a 2-game losing streak against BYU. Michigan massacres Rutgers. Oklahoma State runs over Iowa State. East Carolina takes South Florida's loot. Arizona State squeaks past UCLA. Pittsburgh squashes the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Purdue irritates Illinois. And Army will get Duke to wave the white flag. Well, troops, you can now put your swords back in their scabbards. We're all out of picks on this Week 6 edition of General Gridiron. We'll be back again next week, same General Gridiron time, same General Gridiron station. So don't forget to tune in on the radio, Facebook, and YouTube TV. And don't forget to tell your friends all about the show. Just search for General Gridiron. This is John Rawl, the General of Gridiron Glory, thanking you for letting me be a part of your football weekend. The show was written by Matt Heermans. Again, we hope all y'all affected by Hurricane Matthew get through this as painless as possible. General Gridiron is a production of CRM Sports. For more, log on to crmsports.com.
That'll be all.